It's 6:01. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Val, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Snow,
Here.
Commissioner Curry, Commissioner Delanoy,
Here.
Mayor Penny.
Here. At this time, if you have any devices that make sound, please turn them off or at least put them on silent. If everyone would please rise for the invocation led by Commissioner Delanoy and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I want to say first tonight, I always pray when I pray. Usually, it's just something that that I feel at the time. Sometimes I don't, even know what I'm getting ready to say. But one thing that's always stuck in my mind about saying prayers in public or anywhere else, and even in my own life, except for in front of my family, because we pray often when they come by. We're always praying when my kids come by every day, and I always say a prayer before they leave. But anyway, there's something that sticks out. It says, and when you pray, this is Matthew, by the way, 6:5. I'm not trying to be a preacher up here or preach to you guys or nothing. It's just something that's in my own heart and the reason why I do what I do. So when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words. So that's just why I just pray so off the wall, basically, if you want to say it that way. So with that said, let's pray. Lord, I thank you this night, Lord, that you hear my prayer and that you hear all of us, Lord, that are in here when we pray. And I just ask you to keep us all safe, to keep this meeting, Lord, in your heart and in your mind, Lord, and in all of our hearts and minds, that we keep it in the way that we should be judged and judge. And let everything go smoothly and peacefully in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Lose my mind, sorry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dang, I just twisted my back or something.
Thank you, sir. At this time, it's time for the public comments. This is time for the audience to address the city commission about anything you want to talk about that's not on our regular agenda. You raising your hand, Gary? Come on up. You sat in the front row this time, too.
I have several questions. Is there going to be an interim replacement for Rock? No. Has the city manager spoken to the county about the canal along LPGA recently?
I have not, but my staff has.
At the railroad tracks, there is like a goat.
Yeah, it's blocking
There is
everything.
almost nothing coming through there. It's just incredible. I don't know. Obviously, nobody from the county travels that road. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience that would like? Anyone else in the audience that would like to address the commission on anything not on our regular agenda? Seeing no hands, we'll close public comments and move to item 3, which is approval of the minutes of the June 9th, 2026 regular city commission meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move to the consent agenda. There's only one item on our consent agenda, which is 2026-R-36. Anyone from the audience like to discuss this issue? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation and entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Any discussion necessary?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move to our regular agenda and entertain 2026-R-32.
Resolution number 2026-R-32 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving the purchase of a pre-owned 2023 Vermeer CV 873 SGT vacuum trailer from MTI Equipment at a cost of $580. Approve a budget amendment in the same amount to allow for the purchase and authorize the city manager to execute the same, and providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Any questions of staff at this time?
No.
Anyone from the audience like to discuss this issue? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation. Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It carries 3-0. Now we'll move to 2026-R-33.
I'm trying to get it pulled up here. Okay. Resolution number 2026-R-33 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution, City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving the piggyback of Source Wall Contract 020223 CEC for the purchase of a Bobcat compact track loader at a cost of $127,405.47. Approving a local vendor preference purchase of a dump trailer for the loader from the Car Shop Trailer Sales at a cost of $13,126. Approving a budget amendment in the amount of $140,531.47 to allow for these purchases and authorizing the city manager to execute the same and providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Any questions of staff?
I do. Joe, is that the one that we said they decided to buy this one instead of the other one? Was this the track loader? Was that
No, this is the,
same one? Or I know the second one that he came up, that he told us about, that we looked at last time?
you mean on the PowerPoint?
Yes,
Yeah, it's the one that had the Bobcat on the trailer.
yeah.
That's the one.
So we're getting the whole thing?
Yeah, that's the price
Bobcat,
for the whole
trailer and
thing.
everything?
And the
Yes.
implements, yeah.
Yeah, the total of all of these, if you remember the first piece of
Yeah,
equipment we
yeah, I
bought was a
remember
little
that.
high. The total of these is actually about $50,000 less than what we had initially thought.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. What was the total cost for that again? For the track, for this,
130.
no, the track loader, the
Actually,
dump trailer.
The dump trailer's like 14.5. And
yeah, the total number,
Yeah, the track loader and the dump trailer purchase.
127. I was close, 130.
Yeah, that's a good price for that. Thanks.
Any other questions of staff?
No.
Anyone from the audience like to discuss this issue? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation and entertain a motion for approval.
Motion for approval.
Second.
You guys gonna do this all
Only
night?
two of us.
I know.
Any discussion amongst the commission?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move to 2026-R-34.
Resolution number 2026-R-34 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving the purchase of a ground penetrating radar unit, RLT-3, and an all-terrain cart from Geographical Survey Systems, Inc., GSSI, at a cost of $20,886.48, approving a budget amendment request in the same amount to provide for the funding of this equipment, and authorizing the city manager to execute the same, and providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Any questions of staff?
Yes, Joe, I know we talked about this being different than a piece that goes in the pipes.
Yeah, this is a ground penetrating radar, which looks like a lawnmower that goes over the surface of the ground, and it identifies pipes in the ground and their depth. The other piece of equipment you're talking about is actually a camera that goes into the pipe.
Okay, got it.
Any more questions?
I think it's incredible, the pricing we got on this stuff.
Anyone from the audience like to discuss ground penetrating radar? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation. Entertain a motion for approval. Come on, Jeff.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
I was
No.
trying to split it up, you know, head back and forth.
We keep going back and forth.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move on to 2026-R-35.
Resolution number 2026-R-35 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving waiving the formal bid procedure for and the purchase of a 2015 Caterpillar M322D wheeled excavator from Altrofor Inc. at a total cost of $131,650. Approve a budget amendment in the same amount to allow for the purchase and authorize the city manager to execute the same, and providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Any questions of staff?
Yeah.
Anyone from the audience like to talk about this piece of equipment? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation. Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Sorry.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move on to 2026-R-37.
Resolution number 2026-R-37 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, ratifying ratifying year 3 of a 3-year agreement with the Police Benevolent Association of Holly Hill, PBA, October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2027, providing for severability, providing for conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date.
Any questions of staff?
No.
Anyone from the audience like to comment on this issue? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
I just want, it seems like we go through this stuff kind of quick, but we've been over this. We already, that's why it just seems like, if anybody's like, I know you've heard that before. So we already know, what we're doing when we get here. Not that we've talked to each other, but we've already gone over it with Joe. So it's like, we've already looked at it, done our research on it and everything like that, so.
Is there anyone from the PBA? Is their representative here? I had a question. So since there's no one here to answer the question, I would ask that the maker of the motion may withdraw their motion, and we could table this to the next meeting, if that's your wishes.
Can I ask what it might be?
I just had a couple questions about the clarification of the wording.
Well, I withdraw my motion.
I withdraw my second.
Is that all we need, Scott?
You can just put it on the next meeting?
Yeah, we'll put a date certain for the next meeting.
Okay,
I mean, it doesn't take effect until October 1, so we've got plenty of time.
okay, all right. Thank you. And now we'll move to 2026-R-38.
Resolution number 2026-R-38 by title only for first and only reading. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, authorizing the acceptance of a hurricane loss mitigation program HLMP grant award from the Florida Division of Emergency Management, FDEM, amending the adopted budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026 to recognize grant revenue and providing for an effective date.
Any questions of staff?
No.
No.
Anyone from the audience like to talk about hurricane mitigation? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation. Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move to 2026-R-39, Ross Point.
Resolution number 2026-R-39 by title only for first and only reading. a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, approving A&E agreement with dredging and marine consultants for field investigations, design and engineering, permitting preparation, permit submission, permit response, bidding assistance, and construction administration related to the Ross Point Pier replacement. Approve a budget amendment in the amount of $125,100 to fund the pre-construction task for this work, and authorize the city manager to execute the same, providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Any staff questions?
This is the one we're looking at an ECHO grant for.
That's correct. This is the replacement of the pier at Ross Point Park. So that was taken out during the damage during the hurricanes, 2 hurricanes. It was recently removed. The direction of the commission was do what you can to get it replaced. So Mary in the finance department has been working on an ECHO grant, a very difficult and complicated grant process. So that's been submitted for 50% grant. About $1 million is what we're looking for. And the thing of note that we're changing here is the old grant, the old pier went out a certain distance and then it kind of made a right angle turn and there was a pavilion out there. The new one's going to be a little less into the water, but it's going to make a T at the top and there'll be 3 pavilions at the end. And we're kind of marketing it as an observation pier more than a fishing pier because it doesn't go out nearly as far as Sunrise Park does.
Okay.
Any more questions of staff?
No.
Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, we'll close audience participation, entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
I have a hard time seconding this. I really, second.
Any discussion? You want to tell us your heartburn?
I just wish it was out, I just wish it was going out farther. Just pretty much the same design as the other one. I mean, I fish these piers, literally fish them. About every other Friday night or Saturday nights, I'm on these piers, or at least the one we have left. And I like the idea of it going out as far as the lettuce. But you know, I mean, it is what it is. I don't question the design of them because I'm not, you know, in that realm of, you know, finances and everything else. I still think it is an awful lot of money too to build a pier, but that's just what we get. Because when you're in government, everything that you try to purchase when you're in a government situation is outrageously high. Not that we have any control over it, but I second it. I'll go with it. I really don't really appreciate the design of it, but that's what we've gotten, so.
You just let me explain just real quickly. So the reason we did it that way is because we're going for the ECHO grant of about $1 million, and we're concerned that ECHO is not going to pay just for a fishing pier. So in order to make it an observation pier, we wanted to make that parallel thing a little bit longer, put more pavilions out there, and market it for observation and not fishing.
Yeah, I understand.
So it was just try to get a better position in the scoring for the ECHO
Yeah,
grant.
I understand.
We have 2 other piers to fish on, though. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, but we only have one that goes almost to the channel.
Yeah. Well, this will never
Course, I don't
make it
fish
out
the
to the
channel
channel.
anyway, but-
Yeah.
You can rent a kayak at Sunrise Park, paddle out there.
We're gonna put lights on it just like the other ones though, right? All the way around?
Yeah, there's
on the
electric,
Water,
solar lights in
that's,
there.
that's solar.
I believe they're solar.
They're gonna be lit at night though, right? Oh, they have to be lit at night.
Yeah, that's it. Charges
gonna light
during the
'em all
day and
day.
lights up at night.
No, they have to be, they have to be lit at night though,
Yeah.
right? We have to keep them lit so that boats
Yeah.
don't run into them, correct?
Right.
Yeah, I thought.
ADA compliant.
Any further discussion amongst the commission?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Bless you. Now we move to our public hearings, which is first reading of ordinance 3099.
Ordinance 3099 by title only for first reading. An ordinance of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, amending the official zoning map to designate the property described in Attachment A from B1 Professional Office Medical Office District to B5 General Commercial District, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Good evening, Commission. Joshua Steele, Senior Planner. The item before you is Ordinance 2026-03099, a request to rezone approximately 0.985 acres located at 988 3rd Street from B1 Professional Office and Medical Office District to B5 General Commercial District. The applicant, Stephen Devane, is requesting this zoning change to allow the property to be developed under the standards and permitted uses of the B5 zoning district. Property's future land use designation is general retail commercial, and the requested B5 zoning district is consistent with that designation. The B1 zoning district is intended primarily for professional and medical office uses with an emphasis on architectural design, site planning, landscaping, and signage. The B5 zoning district allows many of the same commercial uses while also permitting local retail stores and services intended to serve the surrounding community. The surrounding area is commercial in nature. To the north, east, and west are existing properties Zone B5. If you look at the map, you'll see it's actually encompassed by a B5 property. And that's also general retail commercial future land use for those. To the south is the commercial and retail properties. There's Zone B1. That's where the property appraiser is. Staff site analysis found the property is currently vacant and has access from 3rd Street. City water and sewer services are available to the site. No wetlands or endangered wildlife impacts were identified through preliminary review. The property is located within FEMA Flood Zone A, and any future development will be required to comply with all applicable floodplain regulations. The proposed zoning changes were reviewed for consistency with both the city's land development regulations and comprehensive plan. Staff found the requested B5 zoning classification is compatible with the surrounding area, particularly given that B5 zoning already exists essentially all around it. Additionally, the request is consistent with applicable future land use policies governing general retail commercial properties and future land development intensity standards. Based on this analysis, staff finds that the requested zoning classification to be consistent with the city's comprehensive plan and land development regulations. The Board of Planning, Board of Planning Appeals, they did forward their recommendation for this. Therefore, staff recommends approval of Ordinance 2026-03099, amending the official zoning map to rezone the property located at 988 3rd Street from B1 Professional Office Medical Office District to B5 General Commercial District. If you have any questions.
Any questions of staff?
You know, you had it? What is that zone right now in front of it, where, you know, where the coffee cup and all the restaurants, the station's at now?
I'm sorry.
The commercial property is B5 already.
Same
Yeah,
thing, right?
everything encompassing or around it is B5. It's a strip plaza, and
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you're just bringing it right up to what's around it already.
yes, there is one property that's adjacent to it that it has a B1 classification, but there is a residential property on it.
Yeah.
But everything else is B5.
Is anybody
around
living
it.
in that house now?
Say again?
Is there anybody living in that house?
I mean, I saw vehicles when I went out there to post it.
I know it's been vacant. It was vacant for a while.
Well, the property that they're talking about had a house on it, and that was torn down
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
But
That
there's
one's,
Oh, it's gone too, right?
that one's gone, but the one that's still kind of purple or whatever that color
Yeah.
is, still has a house on it.
Is there anybody living there?
I don't know for sure.
I know it was.
I did
know
see
it was
vehicles.
vacant.
Mr. Devane says there's someone living there.
There is. Have they been notified about this at all?
Yes.
They were?
All notification requirements were met. Yep.
So they did get notified
Yes.
that we're gonna do this?
Mm.
Did you have any flack from or anything? Did they care?
I didn't receive a single phone call for this rezone.
Thanks. Just curious.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Anyone from the audience have any concerns about this issue?
Philip Wabi, 15th Street, Holly Hill. Just curious if they're going to build something there. Is there any way that we can do better than what we did with the RV park that came in and have more drainage and more? I know that there's certain requirements that the state puts and the St. John's Water District puts, but I mean, if you stand on Flomich and you look at the RV park, you see that their drainage is at the same level as the road. So is there something that we can do so that we don't flood out the homes in the area if something does get built there, just for the citizens in that area? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience? So we'll close public comments. You want to add anything, Steve? Would you like to come up and, this is the applicant? Would you like to come up? I'm sorry, I should call you Mr. Devane. I've known Mr. Devane for probably 40 years. So I didn't know this was actually his property until I saw him sitting there.
Just so a little background, this property was owned by my grandfather originally, so it's an old homestead for us. And then my uncle lived there until his death about a year ago. The house was in such terrible shape that it just needed to be knocked down. But I personally don't have any plans for development. This rezone is simply for me to be able to sell the property, hopefully at a higher price, and that's all the plans I have. So,
Yeah, anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
okay, thank you.
Mayor, since this is a quasi judicial hearing, it would be good for each of y'all to disclose any ex parte communications you've had from the public.
I was going to do that. I haven't had any conversation. Like I said, I didn't realize this was Mr. Devane's property until I saw him sitting in the audience. I haven't had any ex parte communication.
I haven't either.
Okay.
I'd like to ask, Josh, can you come back up and address the concerns about flooding? You said it's an A zone, so they're gonna have to comply with all regulations.
Yes, they'll have to comply with any regulations that are required from the floodplain, but any kind of development that's going to be going through here is going to have to go through a full site plan review, which means Fred, our stormwater engineer, is going to have to put his stamp on it. He's going to have to look at it, make sure everything is appropriate. It'll go through planning and review and building and anything else related.
And would you like to comment about the RV park and the stormwater retention requirements that were put on that property?
I don't know if Josh was here during that time, but that project has met or exceeded the city's and the St. John's Water Management District's stormwater requirements.
All right, thank you. Any discussion needed amongst the commission? Oh, I guess I have to have a motion first.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Any discussion necessary?
no.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move on to the major amendment on Fox Point.
I didn't have any discussion on this one.
I don't see a resolution.
Oh,
There's
sorry
nothing,
about that.
yeah, I don't
Okay.
think there's anything to read.
Sorry about that. The item before you is a proposed amendment to an existing residential planned unit development, or RPUD, located at 1088 10th Street on the northeast corner of the intersection of 10th Street and Vine Street. It's known as Fox Point. The property consists of approximately 9.4 acres and is currently developed as an apartment complex. The site was annexed into the city of Holly Hill in 2021, at which time the future land use designation was changed to medium-density residential, and the zoning was changed to R6 before subsequently being approved as a residential plan unit development. The applicant, represented by Cobb Cole, is requesting a major amendment to that existing RPUD. Specifically, the request would allow the conversion of an existing indoor utility space into a residential dwelling unit, and the construction of an accessory utility structure immediately adjacent to the building to replace that space that they had on the interior. The proposed amendment does not alter the property's future land use designation or zoning district, with the exception of the amendment to the RPUD. The site will remain designated medium-density residential and zoned RPUD. After evaluating the request against the criteria contained in Section 82-372 of the Land Development Regulations, staff has determined that the proposed amendment is consistent with the goals objectives and policies of the city's comprehensive plan and land development regulations. BOPA did forward their approval for this as well. And therefore, staff recommends approval of the proposed ordinance amending the associated development agreement and preliminary plan for the approximately 9.4 acre RPUD located at 1088 10th Street.
Any questions for staff?
No,
So this is already zoned for apartments anyway, right?
This is zoned as an RPUD, so it's everything that's contained within their agreement. But yes, it's zoned specifically for Fox Point.
So, so what's the density gonna be on this? Do they already have a plan that's been submitted or anything like that? or-
Yes, I put that into the packet, and that, they're just adding the one unit, and it's not really, I'm looking for the numbers, give me one moment, sorry.
So they're just putting another building up, basically, another
No,
set of
just
apartments?
one unit
I
inside.
haven't went by there.
Yeah,
I know
they're-
you told
they're-
me about it, and I didn't go by.
From the outside, I don't think you would recognize it, from my understanding. They're just converting an indoor storage unit to one more unit.
So it's just a building that's already there?
It's already there.
Then
And
they're
they're
just
just gonna
storing-
add us out, really, the amendments for the outside storage unit to be added. That's what you'll see.
Oh, okay.
I think, was it 10 units an acre they're allowed? Or, do you remember, Brian? I know they're well below the allowed density.
I wish I would've went by there. I know Joe told me about it, and I didn't go by.
Hi, Brian Walker, Community Development Director. So with medium-density residential, you're allowed up to 19 dwelling units per net buildable acre. Given the size of the property, they were allowed 70 units. Because the plan development was so specific in mentioning the exact number of units, when they wanted to add one more, it became a major amendment. So that's why this is before you. The PD is being amended to allow now 71 total units. It still is within the 19 dwelling units per net buildable acre overall. And then they're going to, as our senior planner mentioned, build a maintenance building next to it, and that's where they will store their things like their lawn equipment and things of that nature.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Any further questions?
no.
Anyone from the audience like to discuss this issue? Yes, sir.
Was gonna be quiet. 719 North Flamingo Drive. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're adding more units on to that residential project?
One.
So the question is, when are you gonna make the developers upgrade the infrastructure system? Because there's only so much, you can't fit this much into a pipe this big. So if they're gonna start building all this, they have to upgrade, and it's not the taxpayers' responsibility, it's theirs. And I'm not talking force main for the sewers, or even water for water supply. It's up to them to upgrade the infrastructure, because we have the flooding problems as it is. They should be responsible to put in the drainage, like the gentleman was talking about. It's not the responsibility of the taxpayers, it's of the developers. So if you're gonna keep permitting all these buildings, have them hit upgrade on their dime, not ours. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience like to comment on this issue? Seeing none, we'll close public participation. If the applicant is here, if they'd like to comment on the concerns?
Good evening, Alana Smith with Cobb Cole Law Firm, One Daytona Boulevard, just for the record. And I think staff did a good job at covering everything overall, so I'll keep this brief. Just to summarize again, we currently have an indoor storage area within the building that is used to store things such as maintenance equipment like lawnmowers, leaf blowers, and other tools like that. And we just think it makes a bit more sense to keep those items in outside storage just for purposes of practicality. So we're requesting an amendment to the development agreement to just convert that space into a interior dwelling unit, and then just add the accessory storage structure adjacent to the primary building for purposes of that outdoor storage. So I know there was concerns about infrastructure and whatnot, but that interior building, we're not, constructing expansions to the apartment building itself in terms of units. We are just converting an interior storage area into a dwelling unit. and then just constructing that outdoor accessory maintenance area to store our tools outside.
Thank
And
you.
that's really everything, so I'm here for any questions.
Any questions of the applicant?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Time to entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion needed amongst the commission?
Nope.
Any ex parte communication with the applicant? I have none.
No, none.
I can read Simpson's mind over there. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 3-0. Now we'll move on to city manager comments.
Two things, Mayor. You've got, that we have to do the voting delegate.
Oh, I forgot we have to do that.
We do that under your comment. We need
Okay.
to have a voting delegate appointment for the conference. And then we were, it's time to renew the TPO agreement. Typically, I'll put that on the agenda. There's been no changes to the agreement. It didn't make it onto the agenda. The cost is $1,304. Unless there's any objection, I'll go ahead and execute that agreement. Same as previous years.
That's it? Anything to add, Mr. Simpson?
No comments.
Val? Okay, we got a couple things. I'll go ahead and start us off. We have a citizens initiative that sponsored by Citizens Soapbox, which if you don't know who that is, it's Mr. Legary, the birthday boy sitting in the front row. We have an election coming up, and there's a candidate forum scheduled for Monday, June 29th, from 6:30 to 8 at Sika Hall, which is 1065 Daytona Avenue. I see two candidates in the room. I'm assuming you're both going to be there. Shake your head. Okay, there. Okay, so they'll be there. It's a moderated discussion. Mr. Legary's in charge of it. You're going to have some cooperation with the Historic Society. They will be open. I think Mrs. Glass is going to provide some heavy refreshments. And when I say heavy refreshments, it's usually dinner. It's free, open to the public. And I think there's flyers around City Hall, and the city has posted it on our website. So any questions? This is not in any way a city-sponsored event. The city is only providing Sika Hall at no cost to the to Mr. Legary to host this event. It's a convenient location. It's in the middle of our city. We have absolutely no affiliation with us other than me telling you to tell people to come and meet the candidates. If you have any questions, call Legary. I'll give you a cell phone number later if you want it. Track him down. He's kind of forgetful, so leave a lengthy message. Sorry, Jim, I'm picking on. Jim was one of our former Citizens of the Year. He does a lot of stuff in our community. He had a radio show with his son Leaf for 10 years plus. And so he's at every city commission meeting. He's probably one of the most well-read people I know. So talk to him. He's a really cool guy to talk to. The Florida League of Cities convention is coming up. And you two will be attending. And each city, there's some business that has to be taken care of, and each city has a delegate to cast our vote, either for or against an item. And so I won't be at the event, so either one of you can volunteer to take that role, or we'll flip a coin and see who's going to do it. It's an early morning meeting. It's probably a 7:30 meeting.
Didn't you do it last year?
I did. I went with Penny. She voted.
Oh, she did?
But I did go with her, and I didn't know what it involved.
So you're familiar with how it does? Well,
I
why don't you?
am,
I'm
yeah.
fine with if you want to do it this year.
I'd like to.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd
that's good
great.
to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We don't need to take formal action on that, Joe, right? Just consensus?
I think consensus is fine. We'll just send a letter off to the league.
Okay. And Chief, I told you I was going to ask you a question. If you could come up, This is a delicate issue but we need to address it. In the last week, I've probably received 5 reverse 911 calls from the sheriff's department. And I got one this afternoon, and a citizen called me 20 minutes after I got the phone call, telling me about the sexual offender or the sexual predator that was moving within a mile of my home. And I just recall, I asked the chief to come up and explain the rules because I don't understand the rules. I thought they couldn't be within a mile of a church or a daycare, and when you draw the circles around all the churches and daycares, it pretty much takes up the whole city. But obviously, there must be a sliver somewhere. So could you explain it to us,
Yes.
Chief?
Chief of Police Byron Williams. So what happens is when a sexual predator moves into the city, they have to go through the sheriff's office as far as notification per state statute. Once the sheriff's office identifies the location where they're going to be moving to, they map that area within a 1 mile radius. So we are required within a 1 mile radius to notify all residents, schools, and parks that this sexual predator is going to be in that area. So that's why you and other residents receive that phone call. Now, when it pertains to the distance from daycares and schools, state statute says it's 1,000 feet. And that's depending if the child is under 16, it's going to be schools, daycares, parks, playgrounds. And that does not include churches unless
Okay.
the church
Has a daycare?
has a daycare attached to it. Now, when you talk about predators that are on probation or community control, those ones that I just notified are also included, but then there's also places where children regularly congregate is added to that. And it's going to be victims under the age of 18 that applies to. So depending on which category the victim falls in will determine the restrictions of the predator. Then you also add into the factor county ordinance pertaining to that, where theirs are a little bit more stricter. Depending on that category, it can be up to 1,500 feet from a daycare, school, or a playground. So
Can the municipality make that distance greater?
yes, that would be something that you would have to discuss.
We did that some years ago where that's why most of our retention ponds are called parks, is because we declared them parks to prevent people from living within a certain distance. And the distance for a predator is different than
Offender.
an offender.
Yes.
So we did that, and in some cases, I think it might be 2.5 miles. In other cases, it might be 1,000 miles.
Right.
Yeah, 2.5 miles, and the other can maybe 1,000 feet or whatever. But I can go back and pull that information so that I have it factual and get it to you tomorrow.
I was just curious if, the sheriff is notifying us, so I'm assuming the sheriff is making sure that the person moving is complying with the county rules and the state rules, but I just want to make sure that they're complying with the city rules. If the city rules are more stringent, I want to make sure they're complying with the city rules.
Yes, we can look into that and find out, but the sheriff's office is the responsibility of maintaining locations and of these predators and where they live at.
Okay, all right,
But
thank
just to continue on, we do have staff in the police department that does, are they monthly checks?
Yes.
And one of the officers, I had somebody come in myself looking for a place to live. It was an offender looking for a place to live. And is it Nick Stacy? Who? One of them's down there.
Sergeant Hutchinson is
Hutch,
the
yeah.
one responsible for that.
So I try to get in touch with Hutch, and he works with them on where they are permitted to live within the city limits on top of whatever the county rules are.
Okay.
And
All right.
we know it was several phone calls made, but for some reason we had several that moved into the city over the last
Yeah, just, the last 2 weeks,
several
my phone's been ringing off the hook.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So
thank-
we've been putting out notices all over the city within our jurisdiction and including the parks per state statute.
It seems like it's the south end of Ridgewood.
Yes.
That's where all the numbers were that I got. So.
Yes, exactly. Some moved from Daytona Beach on Ridgewood Avenue, and they just moved down the street to Holly Hill. So.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any questions? Any other questions?
No.
I got just a couple I'm curious about. So what do they exactly have to do? I just want to make sure I'm clear on my understanding of how that works. So when they want to move, they have to report.
They have to report to. They have to report to the sheriff's. They have to report once they leave the jail they have to report directly to the sheriff's office within, I believe it's, I want to say 24 hours or 72 hours.
So once they move, so they have to let the sheriff know, or let the sheriff's department know, I'm moving to so-and-so address.
And the sheriff's office maps it out and let them know that either they can move there or they cannot move there.
And so then, what if they want to move again? Do they constantly have to report this then?
Correct.
To the sheriff's department every time they move and where they're going?
For the rest of their life, yes.
How quick do you get it? How quick do this?
We get it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get notified pretty quickly of that.
Just
We
curious.
have a pretty solid, robust system that's throughout the state with the county sheriffs and the local police department. So
Well, they must be moving all towards down that end. I didn't get any.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's
Thanks,
pretty,
Chief.
Pretty sad that we're in this situation in the world, but that's the way it is. Good thing.
Couple things in the distant future that will be here before we know it. Keep on your calendar September 12th. If you like to play golf or you know anyone that likes to play golf, the Mayor's Tournament will be September 12th. If you like to give money to the Mayor's Golf Tournament, I'll accept it. The benefactor this year is going to be the Food Bridge Pantry, which is a pantry located here in Holly Hill that gave out almost $1 million pounds of food to 32117 people last year. So great cause. And then October 10th will be here before you know it. It's the Holly Hill Community Block Party celebrating our 150th anniversary. 125th. Confused with 250 and 150. 125 coming up. So we'll start with the Historic Society opening up the time capsule. And then events will be in the evening, followed by a drone show, which should be spectacular. So that's all I can remember. Commissioner Delanoy?
I'm just still, I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm just, I talked to city manager. I was out fishing Friday. We're gonna post some, I'm hoping that we get this done. Joe, I think is, listened to me pretty hard, cause I was pretty hard about it, I guess. I was out fishing Friday.
He can't help you catch fish.
Well, we were fishing Friday on the dock like normal, and I mean, nobody does this. It's kind of like a written rule in fishing.
Unwritten rule.
You know, it's like the old rule. You know, you don't go throw your pole in the same spot that the other guy next to you is fishing. You know, you don't go fish right beside him. So these guys come down there and started throwing a net right literally from me to the mayor.
A cast net?
Yes. And they did this all the way down the dock. Like, and there's 4 of us out there fishing. And they literally just came and did it. They wouldn't talk to us. I mean, when they first did it, you know, they did it on the end. I don't want to get into an elaborate story about it, but it happened. And it didn't get ugly because, you know, I don't pull the commissioner card or anything like that. I'm not that way. I don't even let anybody know that I am a commissioner unless they ask. But, you know, I just said, you guys have some consideration or whatever? And they wouldn't even talk to us. They were talking to each other, and they just went on down the dock, came back, and they just went down to the end on one side, went to the other, came down the other end, and they just continuously started to come up the other side. Well, we packed up and left and went to New Smyrna. But so I suggested to Joe that we put some rules on the dock. Daytona has them, Ormond has them. They have like a little sign that says what you can do and what you can't do when you're out there fishing. It's mostly just courtesy stuff. So I guess I'm hoping that we get that done, that we can get that posted.
It's sign about this big, it's gonna say, "Leave JD alone."
Don't bother the guy fishing. But it is a kind of a nasty thing too, because when you do that, I mean, I cast net myself, and I've done that myself. I'm not going to say I haven't done that, but I haven't done that like when somebody's fishing. But you do pull a lot of debris up from the bottom onto the dock. It gets kind of messy. I mean, you usually kick it off with your foot as much as you can. But I guess it's getting to where, you know, and Ormond does have it posted, and so does Daytona, I think, on most of their docks because of that particular, I guess, for that reason, so that you don't mess it all up for everybody else. But I just want to I'm bringing it up because I really want to make sure that we get that done.
The worst place used to be the bridge between the 2 parks, and then we built that new bridge, and you can't throw a cast net over it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it
we
did,
got
it did
plenty
have
of
a,
places to throw a cast net around that.
it used to
park.
have a sign on where the bridge was, no, because people wouldn't clean up after themselves.
And the crazy thing is, they weren't even getting any
Yeah.
fish. They didn't get a single fish the whole time they did that.
That was the John Daniel rule. Now this will be the JD rule.
Yeah, I don't care. I just want it posted, so then if I'm out there, I can go, did y'all read the sign? You know, I can at least have something to point to and say, look, there's rules out here. You don't do that out there. Because I couldn't do that, and I just didn't want to get into a confrontation with them, so just left it and went about our way. We were gonna go to New Smyrna anyway, we just left earlier than we normally would. But no, we didn't catch anything either. Not there.
Yeah.
We did up there and down in New Smyrna. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My rant for the
Me?
night.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Right now, from May 25th till September 5th, is the deadliest 100 days in car fatalities. It's mainly because we have teenagers driving in the summer, a lot more than we do when they're in school. But please be aware that the odds go up tremendously during this time for bad fatalities. Second, congratulations to the staff of Public Works on the evaluation from the Department of Transportation on what we've done in the city and how we've improved and done very well with it. And the last thing is about my voice. Michael J. Fox, who you all know has Parkinson's, he has a foundation, and in that foundation, he supports all types of movement disorders. And there have been amazing breakthroughs in the last 3 months. 2 of them came out of Europe and 1 out of the United States. And I have had more than 10 residents call me and say, do you know about this? And I can't tell you what that means to me. I get a lot of criticism. I get a lot of misunderstanding of my bobblehead and my wobbly voice. So this was a real thrill that these people cared enough to call me and say, did you know? That was great. So thank you to all of them. And that's it.
One last thing, and we'll wrap it up. Joe and I had, and several members of staff, had a meeting today with a new restaurant that's coming to town. They just signed a lease. It's going to be a Mexican restaurant with some music involved, entertainment involved. It's going to be at the Shops of Marina Grande on the south end. They just signed a lease. It's going to take them several months to do the build out. Probably not open till December. But exciting that the entertainment district that how long's that thing been empty? 15 years. So now we're getting some activity there, and the landlord said, based on that activity, he's getting other interest for people to come there because once you get the first one, it's easier to get the second and the third one into place. So that's exciting. I think it's good news for us. Holly Hill's going in the right direction. So anyone else have anything for the good of the order?
Is it a franchise or something? Is it a name brand name?
No, it's just they started their business as a food truck, and now they're going to become a brick and mortar.
Cool.
So it's really nice.
Yeah.
Family-run business. So without seeing anything further, we will stand adjourned.